Music history isn't just about chart toppers and catchy tunes. It's filled with stories that can haunt you long after the last note fades. Some songs carry with them a heavy shadow, a legacy of pain masked by fleeting fame. But here's the shocking twist. What happens when a song launches an artist into the spotlight, only for fortune to unravel into heartbreak, controversy, and even tragedy? Let's explore three unforgettable one-hit wonders from the 1960s, whose behind-the-scenes stories, far more raw and sorrowful than their melodies suggest, are often left untold. And this is the part most people miss. Beneath the surface of these iconic hits lies a profound human cost. Dominique by Janine Deckers. At first listen, Dominique by the Singing Nun bursts with innocent charm. But who really was the woman behind the angelic voice? Janine Deckers, a Belgian nun swathed in habit and serenity, graced the world with her serene tune in 1963, capturing hearts across the globe. The song soared to the top of the Billboard Hot 100, a tremendous feat for someone who spent her days in humble religious devotion. But here's where it gets controversial. Deckers' sudden fame became the catalyst for a devastating downward spiral. After signing a recording contract prompted by her newfound success, she discovered most of the royalties were pocketed by record producers and her own religious order, rather than herself. Despite being the voice and heart behind Dominique, Deckers was left nearly destitute, plagued by mounting financial distress. The weight proved suffocating. She left the convent, grappling with a personal and spiritual crisis. Ultimately, overwhelmed by despair, Deckers took her own life in 1985, leaving a letter that cited her unyielding financial woes. It begs the question, how could someone so beloved by millions end up so abandoned by the very industry that celebrated her? Tiptoe Through the Tulips with Me by Tiny Tim. Few figures in pop culture spark as many differing opinions as Tiny Tim. If you've ever heard the quirky, high-pitched Tiptoe Through the Tulips with Me, you've experienced the whimsical world he inhabited. His unusual falsetto and eccentric stage presence briefly skyrocketed him to fame in 1968, with the song reaching number 17 on the charts. But the novelty faded quickly, pushing him to the fringes of the entertainment world. But the real shocker? Tiny Tim was as much a magnet for controversy as he was for applause. His personal life was an open book. He married a teenager at age 37, sparking public debate. As the 1970s rolled on, his moment in the limelight dimmed, but his passion for music never waned. He continued to perform relentlessly, even as audiences dwindled. In an eerie twist of fate, Tiny Tim suffered a heart attack on stage in 1996 while doing what he loved most. Though he recovered initially, only months later, while performing his famous hit, he collapsed mid-show and tragically passed away. Do you believe fame should come at such a high personal risk or cost? Let's talk about it in the comments. Rockin' Little Angel by Ray Smith. Ray Smith might not be a household name today, but in 1960, he delivered a rockabilly smash with Rockin' Little Angel. The single sold over 1 million copies and reached number 22 on the Billboard charts, a dazzling accomplishment for any artist. Yet after tasting early success, Smith was never able to repeat his chart-topping triumph, despite his devotion to music over the following decades. And this is the detail that surprises many people. Smith's persistence brought neither renewed success nor happiness. Instead, he grappled with a professional plateau and declining mental health. In 1979, at just 45 years old, Ray Smith tragically ended his own life at his home in Canada. We may never know if the lack of continued recognition drove him to despair, but it's impossible to separate the echoes of his single hit from the silence that followed. Now it's over to you. Do you think the music industry does enough to support artists beyond their moments of glory? Or are one-hit wonders left behind, lost in the pages of forgotten history? Share your thoughts, and let's explore these bittersweet melodies together.